Good afternoon and welcome to the August 11th, 2022 meeting of the Rotary Club of Orlando. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all our visiting Rotarians and guests. Please know you're very welcome to be here. Thank you for joining us. So I'd like to start out with an invocation from George Huffman, past District Governor George Huffman.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me in prayer. Our Creator and Sustainer, we thank you for this, another wonderful day. You have blessed us with a great community, with a great nation, with family, friends, occupations, and this dear fellowship of Rotary. We know that many elsewhere are faced with difficult times because of health, economic hardship, lack of opportunity, and the uncertainty of their futures. Open our eyes and awaken our hearts and enable our hands to serve others in need, not just those we see, but those unseen and often otherwise forgotten. May our motto of service above self guide us in our individual lives and our fellowship of Rotary in ways pleasing to you. We give you thanks for this meal and ask your blessing on this meeting and the actions of this club. In your holiest of names we pray. Amen.
Thank you, George. Now for patriotic music, let me welcome Harry Voorhees.
Saying my country is a big.
Harry, please, on mic though. You got to come over here and do it. Right
I
here.
know you can hear me.
Beautiful.
Okay. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Now join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you.
Well, I want to sing, you know.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. Now to announce our visiting Rotarians and guests, please welcome Craig Polgis.
Thank you, President David, and good afternoon, everybody. On this 11th day of August, hard to believe, school's already started, in case you haven't noticed the additional traffic in the mornings. It's my privilege to welcome, on behalf of the club, our guests, and we have a sweet tradition such that when I announce your name, I'd ask you to please stand and remain standing, and then we will properly greet you after I announce your names. Our first guest of Candace, Jenna Williams. Where's Jenna? Welcome, Jenna. Our next guest of Denny career, Jessica. Welcome, Jessica. Next guest is from Tommy Tart, Jeanette Bennett. Where's Jeanette? Welcome. Okay, Sasso has a couple guests. First is Alex Vinovsky. Alex, welcome. And Nick Vinovsky. I guess we got the whole family here. I can see the resemblance. Welcome. And our last guest of Dick Harris, Jim Haynes. Jim, I got to visit with earlier. Welcome, Jim. Okay, how do we provide our greetings, everybody?
Hello, stranger, gather round. Welcome to our friendly town. Don't feel lonesome, let's shake hands. You're among Rotarians. Sit down.
Good job. All right. Okay. I have a couple of a couple of special announcements to make today. First of all, I would like everyone here to mark on their calendar. Mark your calendar for the Rotary meeting on September 1st. September 1st, our guest speaker will be Jerry Demings, Orange County Mayor. We want to make sure that we have a full room for Jerry Demings. We want to impress Jerry Demings, so please invite a guest, invite another Rotarian, make sure that we have a full room here on September 1st. Also have a couple of announcements on the food pantry. I'd like John Stein, would you please come up and help us out with an announcement on the food pantry program?
The last time I was up here, I was recognizing the people that had served last year. And unfortunately, I forgot somebody. So I have my list today. Today, I'm beginning to give out cards for our food pantries in the 8 Title I schools. We're serving the same Title I schools we did last year, and we have added an 8th one, and that will be Carver Middle School. And guess who is principal at Carver Middle School? Our Rotarian, Sam Danner. So Sam was instrumental in that. This year at Carver Middle is John Sesher. Eccleston will be Dan Boone. Ivy Lane will be Mike McGrath. Molly Ray will be Allison Carestes. OCPS Ace Paramore, or what they call the community school, will be John Polino. Rock Lake will be served by Sasha Vanoski. Washington Shores Elementary is Mary Ann Dean. Washington Shores Primary Learning Center, again, will be Jason Frazier. We're starting it a little early this year because we feel like that it's going to be food is going to be a little more severe problem because of what we're in terms of the economics. This year, we will be upping the ante in each of these schools to at least $800, with the exception of Washington PLC, which will only have 600, but they only have about 100 people. Thank you so much for your participation. We're going to have food drives for each of these schools individually on the 2nd and 3rd Thursdays of each month. Now, each school will have one of those months, and I'd like for you to support this because this was a big help to those people last year. Thank you for your previous support, and I look for your continued support. Thank you.
All right. Thank you much. Thank you very much, John. We really appreciate everything you do for our club here. John has had the food pantry program for how many years now? 3 years now. And previously, of course, he was head of the African School Project, building schools in Kenya. So we really appreciate everything that John has done for our club and for humanitarian causes we support. Speaking of food, I'd like to ask past President Dick Harris to come up and give us an update on the food drive program.
As John said, we expect food problems to be more pronounced this year. I don't know if you read it, but one of the reporters took a grocery shopping list from a year ago, and that list was about $91. He went back and tried to buy the same list this same week this year that he did last year. The bill was $27 higher, more than 27%. So when you look at that, food scarcity is going to be a problem. And in our region, our goal this year is 1.5 million meals. Those meals go to Salvation Army, they go to Second Harvest, they go to any of the 550 feeders supported by this food network, which hinges on Second Harvest. So on our second food packing at Second Harvest of the year is next Friday afternoon from 1 to 4. We need 35 Rotarians, and in 3 hours, 35 Rotarians can put in about a little over 100 hours and pack 18,000 meals. So just 1 hour of your time is 180 meals. Think about that, 180 meals for 1 hour of your time. Please sign up and join us next Friday from 1 to 4 at Second Harvest. You'll be glad you did, and you meet a lot of great Rotarians there.
That's true. I can vouch for that too. I've done a food packing event a couple of different times and I've actually enjoyed it every time I've done it. It's well worth doing. Now, some of you long-term Rotarians will remember that years ago, we used to do a raffle where you'd come in and you'd buy a ticket. Well, this motion was brought up and approved by the board of directors to restart the raffle. And I'm happy to announce that past District Governor Denny Career has volunteered to chair that drive. So we're going to be starting up a raffle. So when you come in and check in, you'll be able to see at the desk over there, you'll be able to buy chances on the raffle. And more details on that will come as they are worked out. Also would like to talk about the poker tournament we have coming up November 5th. The poker tournament has become our signature event. Again, signature event meaning that poker tournament raises more money for charity than any of our other events combined. So we all are really going to get behind the poker tournament this year and volunteer. We need a lot of volunteers the night of the event. I know many of you here have worked that event in the past, and we need you to come back again. And those of you that know how to do the job, do it again and train other people to do it. There's a lot of different things, different tasks and jobs that are available prior to that. But prior to the night of the event, we also need volunteers to help with a couple of different things. We need help publicizing the event. So anyone that has contacts social media, for example, or any kind of publicity experience that would like to help in publicizing the event, we need help there. We also need prizes for the silent auction. So the silent auction raises quite a bit of money for the, in addition to the tournament itself. And we want to make sure we have some good prizes for the silent auction. So in the past, we've had people that have donated sports tickets, Gator tickets, Seminole tickets. We've had people that have had a condo at the beach for a weekend that people have been on. We had a pilot that actually donated a ride in an airplane. And so with some real interesting prizes, along with the hotels that have donated free stays. So if do you know anyone, a business that can donate something, we've got to get creative on this. So please think of something. And if you have something that could serve as a prize for that silent auction, please contact one of the chairs, either Mike Young or Tony Boney or myself, and we'll get that taken care of. Okay. We talked about the also Wednesday edition. Please remember that we're also featuring Rotarians in the family in the Wednesday edition and the spotlight section. We also will now do family members of Rotarians. So keep that in mind. If you have a family member that's accomplished something that you really want to brag about, get with Bill Pieper on that and he'll write an article on it. Okay, that leaves us to Happy Dollars. And past District Governor Denny Career is going to be doing Happy Dollars today. Yeah. Nope.
You know, it's interesting. Sheriff.
You got a mic on you?
The county. Is it on? No, it isn't. You know, the county mayor for a long time has been wanting to join our Rotary Club since back when he was sheriff. We never had an opportunity to do it, and I've talked him into becoming a corporate member, using the county as a member. And for one way or reason or another, the actual get together gets mixed up. So make sure when he comes here that you talk to him and tell him we want him in our club. I'm going to make sure we get him in here. So there's no reason why we can't do that. And here's our newest officer running for government, Khalid. He's in the runoff. There's only 5 left, so he's got a shot at it. And with a little luck, he'd be running against Calvin Wimbush. So that would be a really interesting election between the two.
Thank you so much, Danny. My happy dollar is because I complete 25 years as a realtor this month, and it just coincides with our speaker, Tansey, president of ORRA, being our speaker. Welcome, Tansey, and look forward to your great speech. Thank you, everybody. And don't forget, early voting has already started, so make sure you vote. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's everybody's not only wish to do, that's something everybody should do. Everybody should always vote. Want to say anything? No? Yes.
I have $2 happy for a happy email I received yesterday. And thank you to John Stein again for everything you do. This is directed at you and everybody in the club as well. This is from the contact person at Rock Lake School, who I've been working with for the last few shopping trips where we go and stock their pantry with the money donated by our Rotary Club. And the email says, I just wanted to say thank you for all the wonderful work you've done for our students and families. Words cannot express all the lives that were touched, changed, and benefited from the pantry that you and the Rotary Club cheerfully provided for our students and their families. Thank you also for your kindness in providing transportation. I will be moving to another school next Monday. With appreciation, Viola Beloy.
That's very nice. That's what we do. In case you don't know, this is Sasha's son, Alex, and Alex is a professional poker player. He always plays in our tournaments. Speaking of poker, we had our first district tournament this past Saturday. And anybody here with anything? No, I missed over here. I missed Theodora. Don't want to do that.
And this one is for my dearest friend, Tansey, our speaker today. Welcome.
Her dearest friend. That's pretty high praise.
High praise indeed.
So we had our first tournament this Saturday with benefit of the Salvation Army. Now, Salvation Army, keep in mind, because they consider this to be gambling, can't actually participate. We wound up with 16 people showing up for the tournament. That's it, only 16. And of those 16, 4 of us were comped. So what do you do? Well, obviously, one good thing about it is that better than half of us were going to make the final table, and that's qualifying for a prize of $7,500 or $10,000. But believe it or not, with only 12 actual people paying, we made money. Imagine what we could do if we had a big crowd. So keep in mind, the whole idea behind this, the district tournaments is eventually have one every month and then have the championship after that. And we want our club to be one of those clubs. Now, we make as a club about $20,000 from this. We think if we ran it, we could make 30 or 40 for you because a lot more people would be involved. So anyhow, keep that in mind for next year. You know, we don't want to push you out of the way, but we want to make more money for our club. So we're going to work on that. Anybody here? Judd does.
Well, last night, ate at Ford's Garage out in West Orange County. It was kind of interesting. It was, they had the meals named after people like Jerry Demings, Scott Boyd, the developer, Martha Sagalski. Those are 3 I remember, and also John Stein. I don't know if it was our John Stein, but John, they have a meal named after a guy named John Stein. It was a bunch of malarkey, I think. The other thing, this is sort of a perplexed happy dollar. I kind of, the Congress just passed a bill to fund the IRS for, I don't know how many billions of dollars for 87,000 new agents that, one of the qualifications they were talking about is being able to lawfully carry a gun and use deadly force, be willing to use deadly force. And then they're defunding the police. Kind of an interesting combination, and meals named after John Stein.
Yeah, and if you own an LLC, all I can say is duck, look out. There's some obscure laws out there that I'm sure that you're not aware of that they are going to start fining you. You won't believe how much. So anyhow, if you have an LLC, talk to your accountant, talk to your attorney, make sure that stuff has been filed in Cincinnati every year that you'll be doing it. It has nothing to do with your taxes. It's just informational stuff. And they will really stick it to you if you do not file or you haven't filed. Richard.
On Saturday, August 27th, the district has a conference called Vibrant Club Seminars. And at that conference, it's intended that club officers, board of directors, those who lead the various committees, and those who aspire to leadership in the club should attend. At the conference, Bill and I will be leading Bill Pieper and I will be leading one of the breakout sessions. As you know, Bill is the chair of the district Public Image Committee, and I'm chair of the Service Projects Committee. So make plans to show up August 27th at the headquarters or at the campus on Millennia Boulevard of Nova Southeastern University, right adjacent to Millennium Mall. The meeting, there will be breakfast served, and the meeting is from 8 until 12.
And then later afternoon, you can come to our second poker tournament benefiting the Rotary Club of St. Cloud. I'm serious about everybody. I mean, as Rotarians, we should be promoting this. We should be helping this. We had no Rotarians come from any other club to this very first one, which is absolutely terrible. We know we've got a problem. We're working on it. We're doing the best we can. But the point is we can easily make money. We just have to have people show up. The Boy Scouts showed up to help us. My associates showed up. We had almost more people helping than we had actually playing. But everybody had a great time. So there's no reason why we can't do that. Tommy, want to say anything? Don't give us any money. You sure? He's actually silent.
Wow.
Anybody have anything else for the good of the order? Any money? Here we go.
Okay. Thank you, Denny. We appreciate that. And, oh, there I am. That leads us to the part of the program where I introduce our speaker today. Tansey Soderstrom, sorry, has been a licensed real estate broker for over 40 years. That's impossible to believe. Must have been a small child when you were licensed. Having received her license in 1981. In 1989, she received her broker's license, real estate broker's license, and opened her first brokerage firm. In 2013, she funded the real estate firm of Orlando, specializing in the luxury home market. She's been active in the Orlando Regional Realtors Association, or ORRA. Served on the board of directors for ORRA. She's served as treasurer, secretary, president-elect, and now president. Please help me welcome our speaker today, Tansey Soderstrom.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being present, right? Present, especially in these days where you have people that really, they're trying to do many, many things, but at the end of the day, you can only do one thing at one time and really do it well. Anyhow, thank you. So, my name is Tansey Soderstrom, and I am the 2022 president of the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, affectionately known as ORRA. All right, so today I'm going to recap ORRA's housing market for 2021, what the market currently looks like, and the outcome for the remainder 2022. Let's see here. Before we go into the numbers, I wanted to take a minute to talk about who ORRA, Orlando Regional Realtor Association, is. Celebrated a 100th anniversary last year. We are the 7th largest real estate association in the nation. We have roughly 21,000 members located throughout Hillsborough, Lake, Orange, Osceola, Polk, Seminole, and Volusia counties. Our members are engaged in all aspects of real estate. They do residential, commercial, brokerage, salespeople, property management, appraisers, and counselors. Okay, ORRA has been gathering Central Florida market data since 1995, and we currently provide a monthly housing report to keep our members interested and parties up to date on what's happening in the market. All right, so we have here a recap. The median home price in December. How many guys were thinking, will the prices ever stop going up, right? So In the median house price in December 2021 was recorded at 340, closing the year with the highest median home price ever recorded. The overall actual median home price was 310,000. I don't know about you guys, but in the 70s, the homes in Woodlands and Sleepy Hollow were 25 and 30,000. Compared to now, they're almost $500,000, right? I mean, quite a jump, I would say. And also in April 2021, the inventory hit a record low, followed by a few months of increased inventory. And then we dropped to 15.1% December for a total of 2,586 homes on the market. You think about that, that's all we had was 2,586 homes. This is a historic low for inventory in Orlando. See here. Single family homes, what sales look like in 2021? Single family homes increased in 2021 by 18.3% for a total of 34,648 sales compared to 29,287 sales in 2020. Condominium sales increased in 2021 by 46.7% for a total of 5,889 sales compared to 4,016 sales in 2020. Townhome sales increased by 41.1% in 2021 for a total of 5,035 sales compared to 3,568 sales in 2020. How did Orlando compare nationally? The National Association of Realtors reported similar trends across the country in 2021. Annual existing home sales were the highest in the last 10 years. The median home price hit an all-time high at approximately $362,000 in June of 2021. Inventory had a historic low across the country over the last year. 2022 mid-year market analysis. So median home right now, the average median home price for the first half of this year is $370,000. Inventory rocketed from 2,333 in January to 5,339 in June. This is a monthly average increase of 3,124 and 128.85% increase. Homes stayed on the market 25 days for the first half. And then interest rates rose to from 3.38% in January to 5.52% in June, an increase of 63.31%. There were a total of 22,900 sales between January 1st, 2022 and January 30th, 2022. And you figure we have what, 21,000 realtors? Okay. So June housing market. June housing data shows that the inventory and home prices have made big jumps for the second consecutive month. In fact, the median home price for June hit its all-time record high at $387,000. June housing market, additional takeaways, okay? Inventory increased by 42.2% from May 2022 to June 2022, with 1,586 more homes on the market in June compared to May. This is the second month in a row with a surge in inventory following May's increase of 44.2%. June's median home price was around $387,000, an increase of 1.9% compared to May 2022. This set an all-time high for the fifth month in a row. This is a 22.9% increase from June 2021 to June 2022, when the median home price was recorded at $315,000. Now, we also, in June 2021, interest rates increased 5.3% in May 2022 to 5.5% in June 2022. This is the highest interest rate in Orlando area has been since November of 2008. Overall sales in June 2022 decreased by 33.9% with a total of 3,793 sales compared to 3,946 sales in May 2022. This is a 14.1 decrease compared to June 2021, when overall sales were recorded at 4,414. New listings increased by 11.3% from May 2022 to June 2022, with a total of 5,367 new homes on the market in June. The outlook for the remainder of 2022, 2022 real estate outlook market inventory. Inventory is expected to slowly increase throughout the remainder of 2022, indicating a new balanced market, more of a balanced market. Uptick in new home construction will help with inventory. This will remain an objective for buyers. And then the median home and mortgage rates, more than 20 top economic and housing experts predict the 2/4 point increase rate hikes by the Fed in 2022. Expect to see home prices increase in 2022, but at a slower rate than last year. 2022 will continue to give sellers the advantage. And then the buyer demand, 1,000 plus new residents move to Orlando weekly. This drives up the median home price and the rental cost. Florida is the #1 destination for international buyers. The top countries include Canada, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela. And the outlook, population growth in Central Florida, population of Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford was recorded at 2.61 million in 2021. Osceola County saw the second largest population growth, 45% in Florida over the last 10 years. Orange County's population saw a 25% increase over the last 10 years. Affordability, with rising home prices and mortgage rates, affordability will continue to be an issue throughout 2022. In addition to the rising home prices, rising rents will also bring a renewed focus on affordability nationally and locally. Millennials will be priced out of buying a home. Questions, but before you do, let me tell you my take on things. So this is what they gave me to read and all of our staff, and it's all true. But if you know, in the last 2 years, our market, there were lines, there were frenzies, people were crazy to get the first home on the market within 5 minutes. Since May, we saw that peak. May in our area and other areas, the market peaked. And since then, we're seeing more homes on the market and also rentals. Rentals, not so much as homes on the market, but we are coming into a more balanced, a more sustainable market. What we had in the past was not sustainable. What we're also seeing is you still see cash, but like I said, the peak was in May. You don't see as much cash, and I'm happy to announce that you see more FHA and VA, and those buyers are getting the home, where before it was all cash or conventional. So questions?
Thank you for that great presentation, especially for us realtors, bringing us up to date. My question to you is that back in 1980, mortgage rates went up to 18%. You had to pay 22% to get a business loan. With the stagflation scenario we have right now, do you see that same scenario coming back?
I really don't, and I'll tell you why. If you think about it, the last 2 weeks, right, the Feds have been lowering the rate. So everyone predicted it to go up. Right now, it's 4.99. So that, to me, gives us great hope, right, for a more balanced.
I have a question for you. A good friend of mine, I asked him how he became a developer. He said 3 freezers and I was no longer in the orange business. But he said the biggest thing for them with inventory, vacant land, is there inventory in Central Florida to build houses on that are affordable?
They're working on that. And the other thing you need to know about that is there are a lot, the commercial builders will tell you, and the commercial realtors, that land is a hot commodity, as it always is, and but they've had to go out further now. And then also right now, across the way, we have about 8 months supply of new homes and only 2 months, around 2 months of resale. So that tells me that these builders have more incentives out, and you can see where the market has cooled. And so if you're in the market for a new home, continue to watch the price or see what kind of offer they can give you. But you're going to also see a lot of other for affordable homes. There are things that are coming up that'll make it better. But again, remember, when the market balances out, it helps everything. And so you see right now, price reductions that you didn't see 2 years ago. And that's very healthy all around, because you could get, it's still a seller's market. 2022 is a seller's market. However, when you have a home and the price should be here, and you price it here, and the market has shifted. So if that seller is not coming down, they're going to be left, they're going to pretty much get under what they really should have gotten. So again, that's a whole new mindset, because remember, we have been for the past 2 years in that frenzy, in that where you thought someone was throwing a party, but actually it was a new home going on the market, right? And they're like, wait, but my neighbor got, X, and you're telling me today I can't get that? That's right. That's how it is. But I think until, it's great for buyers and for sellers. And also you have to really listen to that realtor. If that realtor is in the know, I said, this is really what's going on right now, right? I mean, what you can comp even April isn't going to be what it is today. But I'm not saying it's not bad, it's not good, because it is. It's a solid seller's market.
Gosh, thank you for being here today and very excellent presentation, and glad you have all the facts and figures. There's a movement that we've heard about, especially those of us in what you call middle-class residential neighborhoods, of corporations buying up homes, taking them off the market and using them for rental purposes. That's a big fear I think a lot of homeowners associations have now that don't have deed restrictions that would prevent something like that. Can you comment on what that movement's all about and where it's headed?
Well, and you think about it, before the Great Recession, right? When there were so many homes, before that, investors weren't buying single family homes. They were buying, duplexes, condos, multifamily, right? And it wasn't until there was so much inventory in this single family home that all of a sudden they realized, wow, this is a great deal. It's a good price. Yes, I'm getting in on it. Because before that, it was just mom and pops that own that. Now, I think too, there are a lot of communities, to your point, that have that, if someone wants to buy one, but mostly a lot of times, unless it's a build to rent, maybe they have a couple, but not a whole lot. And the other thing is I think too, these HOAs are getting smart as to putting restrictions so that when the realtor sells, they say, oh, this cannot be an Airbnb, and this is not a short-term rental. This is, for 12 months or longer, or, you can't rent without HOA permission. So I think those things are you're seeing more of that as well, but you're also seeing communities where they are, and they're called build to rent. And it was funny because the developer, we were at a conference last week, and the developer was trying to say, the American dream has changed. Really, the American dream is of home ownership. And to me, that will never change. But again, he was touting his rent to own. And, and then you think about it, you say, and he had some good points, because not everybody wants to own. Well, that's fine, but that's how you create generational wealth. That is how you have your equity. That's your money in the bank. Maybe it's not sitting in your savings and loan, but it's in your home. But again, rent to own is fine as well. If you say you just need to be somewhere for a year, or you're building a home and you need a rental, or your children are in college, or they need a place to stay, there's a lot of options out there. But I didn't agree with him that was the American dream had changed.
Thank you for the presentation. So one of the key metrics driving the market right now is inventory. And a lot of home builders are obviously needing to build homes to increase the inventory, but the supply constraints has been an issue in the past year or two. What have you noticed in the ability for them to access that, being that if they do have regular access to these materials, the inventory will essentially skyrocket?
Well, like I said, too, across, not just here, but across the nation, right? United States, you're seeing that these new home builders are savvy. If you look, because their product is up and they have more inventory now than they did. The resales are coming up. You're getting, every day I look at the different zip codes and I see more homes come on the market for sale. And I can tell you that the ugly homes don't sell, but pretty homes do. But in the frenzy, ugly homes sold, right? Everything sold. But what I'm saying is there is more, and the builders have more, and there's continuing to be more coming out of the ground. but you're gonna see more offers, like, one of the production builders sent out to the realtors, hey, if you have someone wanting to come to Florida, we'll pay for their trip if they come to our product, see our new home product. Wow, really, you know the market's cooling when they do that, or when they're nice to realtors. That is also like the production chain. There's still problems, but it's a whole lot better than it was. And they can't, and a lot of times they'll say, well, it's this or it's that, or they'll put a home right out there and you don't get to pick anything. It's already done, right? Because that's what they had at that time. But you're seeing even that it's gotten a lot better.
It's interesting, back in 1980, 81, we were making loans to people at 17.75%, 18%. People were still borrowing money, and then they'd refinance when the rates went down. So that didn't scare me. That wouldn't last very long. And we would never get that high at this point in time because we're not coming from the same spot. We're coming from zero. But are most of the foreign buyers, especially South Americans, do they pay cash?
They do. They definitely do. But again, I believe interest rates won't matter to them. Well, they're just coming back because during that time, that past 2 years that we saw, they were selling and they were cashing out. So now they're just now coming back, that we're seeing the percentage come back. I'd have to have Christy get some statistics on that, because like I said, for the last 2 years, they were selling and they took their money out, but now we see a resurgence of them where we had a lot more and now not. I couldn't really quote you because I don't want to give you the wrong percentage, but they're back. They are back. And again, there are new FERPA laws coming in effect. And then I noticed also at closings, the title companies now have different ways they can take title, which is different. That's new. It's all new.
Thank you for your presentation and your time. I'd like to get your take on the proposed rent caps. You knew that was coming, huh?
Realtors do not believe in rent control. We do not. We don't believe it worked anywhere. And we believe there's other areas. There's money out there and there's a lot better way to do things. I was talking to Christy, and so they have a lower rent. All right, but now they're gonna have to pay for trash and water, and sewer, where before they didn't have to. So there has to be a better way. And I think too, a lot of it too, it has to do with the insurance, the insurance that these people have, the owners are paying. So again, I was there for that meeting. And like I say, realtors do not believe in rent control. We believe there are other solutions out there that are much healthier for everybody.
Well, Tansey, again, thank you very much for the presentation. Let's give her a hand. And we also have a little gift for you here. This is for you to take back with you. Thank you. Quick switch on the mics here. Okay, our speaker next week will be Dr. Kevin Sharon. I think our very own Dr. Kevin Sharon. It's going to be a very good program, so please make sure you have that on your calendar. Now, please join me in the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it pros and concern? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Those of you that have turned off your cell phones, please turn your cell phones back on again. Remember, do business with Rotarians. Be safe, be well, be active, be a Rotarian. Our meeting is now adjourned.